Hey everybody, this is Chris Fuller from Beatlanta, here with some of the members of The Wild. You guys introduce yourselves.
Hey, I'm Steve.
I'm Whit.
I'm Diana.
And what do you all play in the band?
I sing and play tambourine.
I play guitar and harmonica and sing.
I play electric banjo, and I do some gang vocals.
You do some singing.
I do some singing.
Yeah.
He does some good Macy Gray singing too.
He's being modest.
Yeah.
He's being modest. There's some good YouTube videos of him lead vocals.
Yeah, that's right.
So can you guys tell us what kind of like music you play? You know.
Well, I think most commonly we are referred to as a folk punk band, or an indie rock band. I would like to think that we were a jam band, but
Shoegaze.
We're working on it.
You guys get a lot of
chamber music.
you get a lot of Fish comparisons.
we do. Really, I think it's because of Steve's virtuosic banjo experimentation.
Electric banjo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do what Fish does without the improvisational part, right? Without the jam bandy part.
So nothing.
So nothing. So we're not even close.
Without the talent.
But in our minds, we are.
And that's what's important.
That's all that matters, really. Although in my heart, we're actually in Foreigner.
Oh.
No, but we're, I guess we're a punk band. I mean, I think that one thing that's interesting about that is that, I think a lot of like punk fans wouldn't necessarily define our music as punk, but I think it speaks to the fact that DIY punk isn't necessarily just about a certain type of music anymore. It's about, politics and the value system and an ethic, so. That's where we fall. That's where we feel most comfortable in the DIY punk world.
Cool. Like on a real note, you have gotten some comparisons to Against Me and Bright Eyes and Woody Guthrie, kind of more on the folk tip. And what do you guys kind of think about those comparisons? Do you think that actually matches the sound?
Well, I would definitely say that a lot of our songwriting is overtly political, and I know that early Against Me was the same way, and honestly, a lot of the early Against Me has been a big influence on my songwriting. I think Tom Gable's a great songwriter and a really sincere and passionate person, I think all of us sort of come from different backgrounds, and it's kind of made our sound what it is, but those bands definitely would make sense, I've always been really into like Woody Guthrie and early folk music, and early Bob Dylan and Phil Oakes and Tom Rush. Steve was into like hardcore punk, like
Bluegrass.
bluegrass.
Yeah.
What kind of hardcore punk bands were you into?
Oh, I grew up in New York, so like the scene that I grew up in was like Candiria, like Choking Victim.
Oh, I love Choking Victim.
Yeah, they're
Door
a
Cry.
great band. I used to see them back in the day.
Yeah.
And like Murphy's Law and Sick of It All. And now I listen to like all different kinds of music. I really enjoy playing bluegrass. That's like what I love to do. I do it all day. So I drag people, I grab people who don't even do it in. But I mean, I think it ties very much if you listen to The Wild. I mean, the banjo parts are all like pieced in, but they, there's a flexibility with how we play it where I can really strum it out or I can pick it out, and that gives it a very specific sound and pushes it in that direction. Yeah, more folk than not.
What are you into? She's a huge Bright Eyes fan, so.
I do like Bright Eyes a lot. I don't know, I guess I like older punk bands. Like I'm really into like Crass, especially. So I like, I don't know, other bands that I don't think we sound like at all.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
We don't really sound like
But I think again it like goes back to just sort of like the aesthetic, not necessarily the music itself, and we're like any band, sort of a culmination of all the things that we've ever listened to or anything that's ever influenced us. So, you know, I'm a huge pop punk fan. You know, I grew up listening to like Lookout Records bands like Screeching Weasel and the Queers and the Mr. T Experience, and you know, and I'm also a huge like Springsteen fan. You know, just like good rock and roll music.
Yeah, we love the Dead.
Yeah. Throw that out there.
Mm-hmm. Deal with that.
But I think there's a lot of similarity in like the folk music that's influenced us and the punk music that's influenced us. They're both, you know, very simple and also very, very complex and
yeah, you can't get more DIY than Dead.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
I mean, the guys did it all themselves. You know? You learn lessons.
That's awesome. You guys have a hugely diverse array of musical styles, but you have your own style.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, you know, I think that we all bring something like to the band. It's like a little bit different, you know, and hopefully that creates something that's unique and interesting. You know, we've had a lot of fun with it, you know, and we're really lucky at this point. You know, we've had so many people involved with the Wild, you know, probably over 10 different members at this point, you know, all over the country. We have members in Colorado and Massachusetts and Maine, you know. Steve just moved down here from Brooklyn, you know. It's been really cool, and I like to think that everyone kind of brings, you know, their own like experience, and that translates into the music that we make. So.
Cool. Can you tell us anything about how you write the music? Do you get together as a group, or is it based off of kind of a solo? Start off with, you know, a riff.
Well, okay, I'll talk about it. Okay, well, back in the good old days, you know, some of the songs that the Wild played, Whit used to play solo, and I would play some banjo on it. You know, and we would do some solo shows, solo gigs, and then now that the band's formed, that provided the initial base of like the songs that we would play. Some of the songs that you did, like, I mean, Oh Alex, I mean, didn't you write that like with everybody? You know, some of the songs get written with everybody. In terms of like the new split that we're doing with Run Forever, like those two songs came together very organically, and I think that was the most collaborative process we ever had, because, you know, Whit came up with the basic song structure for one of them and the lyrics for one of them. Diana wrote the lyrics for the other one. We were like, you know, throwing ideas back, trying to make it a little more fancy, like try to mix it up and develop the music a bit, and I wrote some parts, you know. So it's felt very natural, like the way it's evolved, you know. Like I write my parts, you know, the music just comes from a very straightforward place, but like in terms of the lyrical content, that's mostly them, you know, except for the secret song that I wrote. But, you know, it's becoming more of a collaboration, which is really cool, because that's, in my opinion, when we all do our best, because we're really just feeding off of each other, and you know, yeah, it works, I think, so far.
Can you tell us anything about the upcoming the single? I mean, the split with Run Forever, who's from Pittsburgh, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we met Run Forever on tour over the summer?
No, it was this fall. They helped set a show up for us because we were about to be playing sort of like a shitty show at a bar, and they are friends with one of our friends that runs a record label, and said like, hey, we have like a cool like DIY show space. Do you guys want to come and play this? And they were phenomenal, like definitely one of the best bands that we played with on the tour, and they invited us to their house to stay with them, and like some of the nicest people ever. So we're really excited to get to put together an album with them. Split.
What label is going to be releasing that split?
The tracks they'll probably be available on 3 different labels in the end. I mean, everything we put out, we release for free through our friend's label called Quote Unquote Records. It's out of Brooklyn, New York. Our friend Jeff Rosenstock, who plays in Bomb the Music Industry, it's his label, and it's a really awesome label, really good bands, and it's all donation, download based. It'll probably come out first on vinyl as a 7-inch on Solidarity Recordings from Southern California. They put out some really good bands like I Made This Mistake, and they just put out a new 15 record re-release. And then it'll also be available on a new like collection of like B-sides and out of print stuff that Asian Man Records is putting out later in the spring. So
I love Asian Man Records, by the way.
Cool.
Slapstick.
It's cool. Yeah, they're playing.
Really?
The 15th
Yeah.
anniversary
Yeah.
festival.
That's-
Wow. Slapstick is
We're
playing?
going.
Yeah, big
We're going.
reunion.
No,
By the way.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
All right.
Good. We're going to that show.
Yeah, we'll
Good.
definitely
I definitely want to go. Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Just double check. I'll be there.
Yeah.
But we're actually, we're excited about the new songs. Like Steve was saying, they definitely feel more of like a collaborative effort. And our friend Alec, that plays in some local bands, plays in a band called Savant, and he used to play in a band called Revolutionary Youth, which are very heavy bands. Plays the drums for us.
Oh yeah,
so it just brings this like totally different
the
dynamic.
man's an octopus.
How do y'all feel playing with? How do you feel playing with bands that are kind of more heavier and just like kind of more?
We're heavier than
punk?
them. Just because,
That's what I'm
let
saying.
me just
yeah.
say, just because we don't have distortion, we like clean tone doesn't diminish the energy. I mean, it has nothing to do with that. You could put a gazillion like Softex behind me. I'm still playing a banjo. So you want to hear a muddy mess, or you want to hear something that sounds awesome?
Not saying that Savant is a muddy mess. Savant's a great band.
No, I'm not
And
saying
Alec
that.
is an amazing drummer, and I think it just like it's one of those things. He actually recorded the drums on the last EP we put out, and he's just an amazing drummer, and it brings so much energy to have someone hitting that hard behind us. So these two new songs are actually they are a little bit heavier, and I don't know if that is just from the writing itself or from the drums or just from everything, but a couple of they're
They're
little,
heavy tunes, dude.
yeah, they're a little more intense.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, is there anything else that you guys want to say to the fans? Any other upcoming shows?
Well, we're going to be doing a show right here in Reynoldstown at the barber shop up the street, The Cut, March 4th.
5th.
March 5th.
Yeah.
March 5th. It's a benefit for Atlanta Indie Media, so it should be a really awesome
really
show.
And if anybody's watching, you should come and see us on these tours that we're doing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're really excited because we're going to go and play places that we haven't played before.
Yeah, we haven't.
The Southwest,
gone out
and
west
we're going to go to California. So if anybody is watching that and sees this, look out, because we want to meet you. And,
Steve wants to kiss you.
I want to kiss you. free kisses for the banjo player always.
yet. Or from. Because it's from the banjo player.
From or for?
From.
Wow, that changes everything.
Cool. Well, you guys definitely have a lot of good things coming up, and you guys out there definitely should come and check the Wild out. Check them out at myspace.com.
Actually, we're doing. We just launched thewild.com, and our Facebook page is facebook.com/thewildatl. MySpace is kind of blown it
Yeah.
right now.
that's
so
what I hear.
We're weeding off of MySpace.
Yeah.
It's for the best. Yeah, it's gotta happen.
Cool. Okay. Well,
thanks for having us.
Yeah.
man.
so much.
Thanks for coming. We'll see you guys next time. Check them out.
Cool.
Cool.
That was
yeah.
Damn it.